Hi, my name is Lauren Klein, and the resource that I am reviewing is Into the Book. So, Into the Book is a reading comprehension tool for elementary age students and teachers, and it kind of just goes through different strategies to help them with reading comprehension as a whole. Um, when you enter the student area, it's available for English and also English language learners, which I think it's really great. I actually work in a school district where a lot of the students in the population that I work with are bilingual and their primary language is usually Spanish. So I think this is really great um, that this could also be used for English language learners. Um, so for each of these strategies here, you're able to click on the strategies, and there's 8 of them. So there's visualizing, summarizing, inferring, making connections, synthesizing, prior knowledge, evaluating, and questioning. So for each of these subsections, when you click on these, it gives you a summary of what the subsection is, and it shows you an example on how to use that area for reading comprehension, and then it has the child try it on their own. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and I'm going to go to summarizing. And when you click on this, you get to choose between the different texts that are available. So there are 2 for summarizing, but some of the other ones have multiples that students can choose from. And I think it's really great because these resources are already on there. So these are a good place for students to start. So I'm actually going to choose A Pirate's Life. And once I click on this, it's going to start talking. So I just want to give you a heads up with that. It's going to give the summary of summarizing, and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
Summarizing means figuring out what is really important in the text and explaining it in your own words. A summary should be short. You don't tell all the details. A good summary will help you remember what you read. Here's how to do it. Read the paragraph. Choose the main idea and drag it to the yard arm. Choose the important details and drag them to the sail.
So for this, you can watch a video and
Then
have them.
use these notes to help you write a summary for your pirate handbook. Type the summary using your own words. Your summary should be short and easy to understand.
So from that, you can do the try it yourself. When you click try it yourself, it's going to read again. And then it'll read a little paragraph, and the student gets to choose what is important and kind of drag it over. Um, and then what they can do is they can take the information that they chose and utilize that to create a summary. Now, what's really great about when they do the try it yourself, there's like fluff in there. And actually, the program itself does not allow them to drag the fluff over there. So it kind of gives them an idea of like, this is not actually what they're looking for. So that's some really great like input method and kind of like feedback for them. I also think it's really important too, because then it kind of frames for the kids, especially if they're just starting to work on some of these things, they're able to distinguish what is important and what is not important. This also has a teaching guide. So when you click this teaching guide, it actually comes up with a document, and it gives you like some teaching tips. So if you are working through this with students as a whole, and a whole group setting, this may be something that you want to focus on. This is also something that if you use it on an iPad, you can use Siri with, which I think is a really good way for this to be accessible as well. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to do the try it yourself just so you guys can see this.
Ahoy, matey. Jelly Bones Jones has taken you aboard his pirate ship, the Bonnie Stingray. You'll be his first mate, and the sea have a lot of work for you. Report to Jelly Bones immediately.
So once I click this report to Captain Jellybones, it's going to read the paragraph, and it's going to explain what it wants the child to do. So I'm just going to show you that.
I'm aboard. The life of a sea dog will be a fine one indeed. You have to know what you're doing. I'm going to explain this once. I want you to get the important parts down in this here notebook to make a pirate handbook for new sea dogs. Then I can stop answering all these questions and get back to what I do best, pirating.
So it kind of gives the information on what the activity is. And then once you click continue, it's going to read and have you choose the important details.
Now, sometimes I get carried away when I'm talking, so you may have to summarize what I'm saying. Use this notebook to make it easy for yourself. See the sketch? Think of the yard arm as the main idea. It holds everything up. Think of the sails as the supporting details. They catch your interest and move you along.
Very cute description of what summarizing is and how it carries the quote unquote pirate ship, which is really cute.
Ahoy, Ricky. It's mighty important to take proper care of your peg leg. Every night before bunk, give it a good polishing with beeswax. You want it to shine brightly in the sunlight. Take it off before you sleep. You don't want it to get tangled up in the hammock. Arg and avast. 'Tis most important to keep it away from termites. Them wee goodies will chew right through the sturdiest peg leg.
So from here, the student is able to take information. So like I said before, there's a lot of fluff that's included in here that's like not really important information. So for example, this right here is fluff. So if they would try to drag it over here, it doesn't go on there. It doesn't allow them to put that there. So also is that. But if you would put like, and it gives them like a nice auditory input when they do, then they get it really right, which I think is really great. And it's just going to have you go through these.
Arg, arg.
Oh, the main idea. My apologies. I was like, I think I got all of them. So then you would move on to the next step.
Whether you got two good eyes or just one, you must know how to wear an eye patch. Me dear old mum taught me this.
So I'm just going to stop that. I'm not going to have it go through. So this would just go through a bunch of different themed areas to work on summarizing. So now when you quit it and you go back, when you go back into here, if you have an account, it'll just kind of like save where you're at. But then the student can utilize all of these at once they practice each one. What I think is really great is there's a bunch of different stories or resources in each one. So it gives them a lot of opportunities to practice to kind of prepare for putting all of these strategies together. Overall value for this, it's a free resource. It's also made by PBS, which I think is really great. I work with a lot of kids on identifying main ideas and utilizing those key details within stories, conversation, and just like auditorily presented information. So I think this would actually be a resource that I could implement in my speech and language sessions with some of my kids. And I actually didn't even know this resource existed. As far as like being able to like personalize it as the teacher, this doesn't really give you like the option to personalize it. You would have to take the information that's already in here and kind of make a lesson that would kind of like go with it. Or if you're a speech therapist like I am, you could just take this information and utilize this to work on specific goals. So if you know a kiddo has a really hard time with comprehension as a whole, you could utilize some of these different things to help them kind of build up those skills in order to utilize the full strategies and kind of have that carry over into their guided reading or reading comprehension. I think this is really easy to use. It gives really good feedback. This can be used on an iPad or a computer or any type of tablet. And it's really easy for the kids to just go through and do it. So it would be good for like independent work, or if you're working on it as, whole group, I think it would be really great to implement. I think this is definitely something that I'm going to start using in my space. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.